Though self-publishing has exploded in recent years, many authors only want to publish through a traditional book publisher, ideally one of the big five. Honestly, for memoirists and other nonfiction authors, it may be easier for you than it would be for a new fiction author. So what exactly does it mean to be traditionally published? What is the path you take? Let's see. The writer writes the book, seeks out an agent, and queries the agent to get their representation. The agent then represents the book, pitching it to publishers seeking to buy. The publisher buys the book from you and your agent, giving you a contract stipulating your advance, your royalties after you earn out your advance, and how many books you are obliged to provide them. Now the real work starts. The editor, copy editor, and proofreader all edit your novel, often sending the manuscript back to you for updates and changes. The book designer creates the cover art and jacket design, which the author will probably not be consulted about. Then the marketing team promotes your book through a wide variety of media, including sending art copies to reviewers, bloggers, and BookTube influencers. The sales team pitches your book to retailers and libraries, and the buying representative for a store or a library purchases your book in numbers they think they can sell based on their clientele. Then your book is placed in the bookstore, hopefully prominently, and the customer purchases your book. So, how do we start this process? The first step is to write your book, obviously. But the next step is to query an agent or a publisher, asking them to represent you. If you're seeking big five publishers, then you will need an agent, full stop. If you're seeking to be published at a small or regional publishing house, then check their website to see if they accept unsolicited manuscripts. If so, you can wait to see if you think an agent will be helpful for your career. When submitting to an agent or a publisher, carefully read their submission requirements. Check to make sure they're open to representing memoirs, as each agent lists all the genres that they take. Because memoirs are nonfiction, some agents may request a query letter and the first few chapters like they do with novels. Conversely, some agents may request a proposal package, which includes the query letter and a chapter treatment, which is what they ask for in regular nonfiction. Also, carefully read for what kinds of clients the agent represents. Top agents like Fuse Literary's Gordon Warnock, for instance, is pretty specific. I'm looking for large platform projects in which the book represents something bigger than the book itself, of which you are the expert, the one best fit to bring it to the page. I prefer to work with socially responsible books that raise new issues or illuminate common issues in new ways. I love books with strong charity tie-ins and celebrities coming together to promote a good cause on a large scale. For memoir, please paste in the first chapter below your query. So, no unknown new authors here. The good news is there are many other agents who are not as well known who are looking for new voices to make their name on. So don't shoot for the stars right out of the gate if you don't already have a large existing platform or a built-in readership. It's also a good idea to look at small and regional publishers if your subject matter is really only interesting to a small audience. Another plus is that you don't need an agent to approach most regional publishers. To do this, you'll need a query letter, of course. So what does a query letter look like? Happily, it's short. It's less than a page. The bad news is that it can be difficult to compress your memoir into such a small space. The structure is also pretty set. You should begin your query letter by addressing the actual agent by name. Know to whom it may concern or any nonsense like that. The first paragraph should be to personalize yourself. If you've been referred by an existing client, or if you've already met the agent at a writer's conference, make sure you mention that. If not, mention why you are specifically querying them. What about them makes you think that they'd be a good fit to represent your book? The next paragraph should be the hook. What is the main narrative of your memoir? The next paragraph should be your platform or credentials. If your blog receives, say, 100,000 visits a month, that's important to say. Or if you have an email newsletter that reaches 20,000 readers, or even if you're a YouTube star, then you should mention your powerful reach up front. If you're a previously published author or an experienced professional or even just a highly regarded authority, you should mention that too. End the letter with your target readership. Who will the publisher be selling this book to? Whose problems are you solving? To put it bluntly, who's willing or even eager to spend money on what you have to say? Writer's Digest regularly features successful query letters of all genres on their website, and they're an excellent source for writers to use when they're looking at what a query letter should look like. Here's one example. It's Suzanne Hansen's "You'll Never Nanny in This Town Again." Dear Miss Martin, when I was 18 years old, I moved from my hometown in Oregon, population 7,500, to live with the most powerful man in Hollywood and to be a nanny to his 3 children. In my memoir, You'll Never Nanny in This Town Again, The True Adventures of a Hollywood Nanny, I describe my unusual experiences with the rich and famous and provide a peek into their private lives. I also share humorous stories about my girlfriends who were working for celebrity families. The book describes my short education at the Northwest Nannies Institute in Portland, Oregon. It also describes my journey as a 24-hour-a-day modern servant, juggling medical emergencies as well as toddler and adult tantrums. This book is a cross between People magazine and Seinfeld. I self-published the book last year and was selected for a distribution contract through the IPG's Small Publishers Program. So now I'm ready to go mainstream with a major publisher. Apart from writing this book, I'm a mother of 2 and have worked as a high-risk labor and delivery nurse, lactation specialist, and childbirth educator. I'll send you a copy of the book by email or regular mail and hope to hear from you to discuss this further. Suzanne Hansen. Obviously, this got her an agent. The agent got her a publishing deal, and the book was successful. It sure sounds interesting to me. However, a query letter may not be all an agent is asking for. They may also ask you for a summary or a chapter treatment. This is a full rundown of everything that happens in the book, including the ending or conclusion. It's not just a book blurb. So it may be helpful to have this on hand in case it's requested. Finally, remember not to get discouraged. It may seem like the internet is flooded with people telling you not even to bother with traditional publishers. But if that's the path you feel is best for you and your book, then it will take some stick-to-itiveness on your part. Do your research and determine who is best to query based on your subject matter and the size of your existing platform. Then keep going until you get a yes.